Alrighty folks, what have we got here? Finally, these have been stuck in customs for like, I don't even know how long. Finally they're in the workshop, 2023 300XC, all the way from the good old US of A. We got the full factory Talon wheels here. Went for something a bit different colours than normal. Carbon hubs, real good strong spokes in them. Used their own Talon rims rather than XLs, which are also great, but wanted to use their own products on them really. Rental sprockets, Motormaster discs. You'll not get any better setup on wheels than that, I would say, in the world. You've got, you know, Talon wheels, which are renowned to be the best. Motormaster discs, rental sprockets, so yeah, give them some abuse and see if they hold up, which you will, even with my abuse. But I'm not quite sure on gearing yet, because I've only rode one of these 300XCs for a few days really, so I'll just stick a 50 on. Good old 50 sort of works everywhere, on KTMs especially, so we'll fire one of them on and that's stuff we can play around with later. I think I ended up on the bike in Florida the weekend up with a 1450 I think it was, and it felt better at that. It's weird because I think the XE comes with a 13, SX comes with a 14, the TPIs like over here come with a 13, and I run a 12 on them for everything, which people are surprised about, but it just seems to work good on it, so I'm not bothered what the perception is. If it works good, and that's it. So, but that's something that we'll get into more when the bike actually gets on the dirt. You need the old duct tape, don't you? Some things you can't live without: duct tape and zip ties. More on. I'll put a bit of lube on this. Not anything. Stop her drying out. How's that look? Full factory, eh?
Yeah, lovely.
Ready to smash over some rocks. Alrighty folks, what have we got here? Finally, these have been stuck in customs for like, I don't even know how long. It's been a right hassle to get them, but finally they're in the workshop. Need to open them, see what's inside it. It should be pretty exciting, I think. It's pretty much one piece. 2023 300XC, all the way from the good old US of A and solid performance. There we have it. To get some of these jobs finished in here, get some bikes out of the way, have a shave because I haven't had time, and get building, I guess. Some training school bikes there, that's not far off. That's not far off, them two are done. 300 EXC, full factory SWM, for sale if anyone wants to buy it, it's in my way. 613 Supermoto factory bike, my 450 EXC, that's in a little bit of a sorry state at the minute, just waiting for a day to get back together. And then over in that corner, full factory, top secret stuff that's going on this new 300, so We got a bit of work to do in the next week, but we like a bit of work, and yeah, keeps your mind occupied and keeps you fit and healthy, running around in circles, building stuff, and full factory. Let's go. No matter how many times you've done this, it's still ace when you're having a new bike. So I've used gut seats for a lot of years now, and they do a full seat now for a lot of models, so that's pretty good. That's one I prepared earlier. Plastic, set of white, set of black, because the bike's going to be black and white. They're not an easy thing to get at the minute, plastics, for these new KTMs, so yeah, end up getting both because it's going to be half and half, so we'll just figure it out as we go along. What else have we got? Rear wheel there, just waiting for a moose. Front wheels here, box of goodies in here, triple clamps, Talon, work of art. We've gone for a bit of a different colour on all this stuff just because I want something a little bit different for this build. Got tie bolts, factory image ones to put in there. I don't even know what I've got anymore because that much stuff turns up. Brake calipers, shock kit, rental bars, hints and clutches, clutch basket, cover, spare clutch. Right, these I got all this stuff. I went mad when I was in America and bought a load of enduro engineering stuff. So that stops a wire. Yeah, the wire comes out of there, and I don't know, maybe it's a bit vulnerable, branches and stuff. So anyway, enduro engineering, I've got a guard for that, which is pretty nice. I got one of these button kits. I just bought all this stuff. Everyone's complaining about the new start switch on. They're complaining about them, how they're not good. I quite like it because I like having more room on the handlebars and less switches and buttons and all sorts. So in that respect it's good, but I thought I'll get them anyway and see how we get on. If I don't like them, I can put the old school on. That's another starter button, a spare one, which is quite handy because after all the abuse that my mate Justin gave me for Hertzberg, I put a spare one on the frame, and he was saying, what's going to happen? A helicopter's going to crash and knock your button off or something, like taking the piss. But a rock hit it and smashed it off, so it was a bloody good job we did have it, because it would have been knackered, no kickstart. I didn't put a kickstart on that bike because I felt harder buying another one for 500 quid, like on my practice bike, and never using it. So I just put another starter button on, which what I'm going to do on this. And then if you have something happen where nothing works, then what do you do? Aluminium or aluminum throttle housing, stronger, but touch wood, I've not broken one. So I just thought it looked nice and I was spending money, so I thought it might as well. Bulletproof chain guide, swing arm guard. We got a load of this hose. Yeah, just looks factory. And I didn't know what size to get, so I just got all the different sizes. That's me different offsets. So on these Talon triple clamps, you've got all these different offsets, so it goes from 19 to 25. So I think stock is still 22, but people seem to be preferring on these new KTMs 23 by the just talking to people. So I'm going to start with 22 just because it's standard, and then I'll swap it to 23 sometime and just see if I notice a difference or whatever, if I like it. So that's my brake calipers. So Motormaster make them. The front wheel's all done. That's ready to go. Again, went for a bit different colours, carbon hubs. Just make it look different. Fed up with having all the same, everyone having the same colour stuff. So Dunlop tyre and mousse on it, which I'm super impressed with. For all the American guys, Dunlop's not so big in off-road. In motocross it is, but in enduro in Europe, everything's Metzeler, Michelin. Dunlop sort of always been on the back foot a little bit with enduro stuff over here. Anyway, I got some tyres last year, did a bit of testing with them, absolutely love them. They do a great cross-country tyre, like obviously all the Americans know for GNCC and stuff. The 8081, they do the 8081 Extreme. MX33 front is what's on there, which is I think it's the best front tyre I've ever had. It works everywhere, it's good. Even in this shitty weather here, what we've got at the minute, it's so good. Motor Master disc on it. Dunlop Mousers again, can't fault them. They've been holding up really well. They're spot on when you put them in. Yeah, and it's nice. It's not rock solid and it's not soft. It's just how it should be, how for a race you want it. So that's all the stuff there, pretty much. Something else that's real important. Something I always do on the bike anyway. Samco hose kit. That's for Gav's 350. Put it in his pile. He's got more bloody stuff than me. I'll put the bill there for it too. Oh, another bill. You can pay that one too. So with the new KTMs, the old T-piece was shit on them anyway, so we always put a Samco on them. But apparently the new bike's even shitter. It's made of plastic, the whole thing. Well, you can just see it up in there. Yeah, it's plastic, and then the hose goes on. So at the British Motocross the other week, at the Okang or whatever it was called, at the Natterjack in the sand, where we've had British Enduros for years, all military land, deep sand. A lot of Huskies, KTMs were melting. The T-piece was melting on them, and obviously wrecking the engine then. So a few lads that I know have been on and saying, oh, make sure you put the Samco T-piece on. The hoses aren't actually ready for them yet, but the T-pieces are, which the hoses on, like this is like an XC, so same as an SX. There's not much to them. You know, the hoses they haven't got a thermostat in the hose. Apparently the thermostat on the XC is, or on the two-strokes, is in the T-piece, which is probably another disaster. But so anyway, this Samco one, that'll fix all that. And then the other thing I haven't got for it, but just looking at it now, it looks the same, is a fan. I've got plenty of fans, I think. Electronic ones, not ones out there that watch races. There's not many of them, too old now, but you know, it's not, you get away with it most of the time, but this is not going to be used for extreme. It's just going to be like Hare and Hounds and Enduro and whatever. So I just want to make sure that it's all good and proper. I'm not going to overheat, because yeah, it's going to be a trick weapon, I think. So we got these back now from KTM. They've been off to Japan to get Kashima coated. Bottom tubes have been coated, feet have been coated. Just looks more than anything, I'm not gonna lie. But the bottoms will be a little bit better. Black's best for less stiction than anything. That black coating he put on. Kashima coating is more to do with looks and stuff, but just thought we're doing a proper build on it. Let's get it all done, full factory. And so if you want to get, so these are air forks. These are the AER forks. I'm going to put KTM spring kit in it, KTM dampen kit for the XC on the right leg. All in all, you'd get, off the top of my head, 1,500 quid tops. You'd get them exactly like this, full kit in both legs, spring kit from Air, coated, same as what this is, Kashima coated in Japan, proper, not just anodized, so it all comes off in 2 minutes. What's a set of cone valves? £3 pretty much. So half the price, and you're using the forks that the bike comes with, which is always good. And in my eyes, you always get more for the bike when you sell it as well, because you've got good suspension on it, you know. So yeah, it's a good option, I think, to what you know, a lot of people going out and spending £3 on a set of forks, another £2 for a shock, £5 in a bike that's already cost you over 10. So I'll fire all these in now. Bushers, seals, new clips in there. So yeah, with the suspension side off it, I'm not gonna lie, cone valves are good, they work good, but they're bloody expensive for most people. So the idea is to get these working as good, if not better, which I've used them before on a motocross bike, and in a lot of areas they were better than what the cone valve was. Getting them in the trees and roots and stuff, working as good, I think, yeah, no problem. It's just finding that balance, getting them, you know, I know my cone valves inside out, so I know what springs I need. So that's the main thing really, is just knowing what spring I need and stuff like that. That's what I'll play with. But I know from experience already from using the kits that they work really good, and they're more consistent feeling, you know. I feel they're more consistent than what a cone valve is. You always feel a little bit different. Where these are just all shims in them, like a normal fork, like a Show or a KYB or whatever. So you know with them that when you've got exact same shims in, they're the same. With the cone system, it's very hard to get them working identical. I find anyway. When I jump, I'm quite picky and fussy, but if I jump off one bike onto another one with exactly the same forks in, I sometimes feel like there's a difference in them. So I always get my favourite forks, where I don't really have that with KYBs or anything. I'll have a set of forks for that I'm happy with. Jump on another bike and they feel the same, which is what you want. It's nice when you jump onto a bike and the thing is exactly how you think it should be like, and not, oh, this feels a lot different to my race bike, or the practice bike feels better than what this bike does, or whatever. So it's a big complaint from riders, and something that I've had a lot in my career. So these are all spring conversion kits. So this converts it. No spring in here yet. I've got a spring somewhere. So basically, this goes in your fork like that. Your spring goes in under that. So the spring, you've got one spring for the two forks. So it's, say for example, you run a 4.4 normally. This will be an 8.8. So obviously double the strength of what a normal spring would be. It's really good option this for these air forks, because you know they're not a disaster, but if you speak to 9 guys out of 10, they all prefer a spring. So the air's too inconsistent. Again, you know, you'll get it working and then the pressure changes in it slightly or it leaks. So the biggest thing for me is it's unreliable. Yeah, so the big plus with the K-Tech spring kit is, for me, reliability. With the air fork, you can get to an event. I've seen it happen loads. I've had loads of customers here where go to an event, oh, my forks are solid, they won't move hardly, and the inner chamber, the seal goes on them and they keep pumping them up and you've got about 1,000 psi in them. So it goes from the inner chamber into the outer chamber, so it's just unreliable. You can't, you know, especially with off-road, more so than motocross, you know, once you set off, you're done. I'm going to start with an 8.8 in this, which is equivalent to a 4.4. The bike in Florida felt a little bit, with 4.4s, felt like I could have gone stiffer with it, so we'll soon see, I guess. But I think if I start with this, I think it'll be a good starting point, if nothing else. That's the ticket. Looks alright, doesn't she? Looks well. You always feel weird these when you've got one. Obviously that'll be the dampened side and this is just spring. But they're all the same when they're locked together.